Welcome in to this Wednesday morning edition. Blue Sky Live here with you today. Chase Parham and Neal McCready. He's in the Clark Ford studio. I am at home, still overcoming sickness a little bit. I felt better yesterday, but the coughing and the spittles, if you will, are raising a little bit. So did not want to infect Tyler Siskey on the same microphone, as they will talk tomorrow, I assume, for an edition of McCready and Siskey.
Oh.
So we press on.
Nope.
What? No
McCready and Siskey more. No, I'm.
There you go.
I'm doing the show with Jeffrey in the morning, and then I will be out of pocket the remainder.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's true.
Tyler is leaving this weekend for Arlington. We have done our last in-person show until probably sometime in June.
Oh, that's right. Didn't miss that along the way. So, but anyway, this morning we are again pressing on. Appreciate Realtree and Realtree.com for helping me do that with some studio quality as always. You can head on over for all your camo lifestyle and outdoor gear with Realtree.com. And this podcast brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations all over the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. They'll take care of you with Sweet Daddy stops along the way. They've got the gas car wash combo there in Byram, the epicenter down in Macomb. Got Valentine's savings going on with the Oxford Exxon, ways to save some money inside the convenience store and take care of you there. A lot of things there with Oxford Exxon and Blue Sky. And again, Neal is in the Clark Ford studio.
I am. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900's that number. Call it. Ask for our buddy Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. And let us hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Ole Miss and Alabama get together tonight. Ole Miss finally returning home after a long road trip, partly just because of the way the schedule fell, partly because of Winter Storm Fern changing the Vanderbilt game. But Alabama tonight, 6 o'clock, back at the Pavilion. I'm pulling up that schedule now for to see what other games are going on. There is 4 SEC games tonight. SEC Network for the Tide and the Rebels. Again, it's 6. Also at 6 tonight, Florida is at Georgia. Florida by 9.5 in that game. Alabama favored by 7.5 on the road tonight in Oxford. 165.5 the over-under for the Tide and the Rebels. Tennessee is at Mississippi State tonight. Tennessee by 7.5 in that one. 8 o'clock ESPN2. And Missouri and Texas A&M, both teams above 500 in the SEC. Texas A&M coming off a couple games losing streak there. They're at home against the Tigers, 7.5-point favorites also there with that. We'll get into basketball coming up here in a little bit on the show. I told Neal before we got started, typically I have 2 to 3 columns of kind of stuff, things we're going to hit on, things to kind of get through, rough patches if we finish some topics and need to get somewhere through a segment for a break. And we do this a lot in the offseason where Wednesday is just sort of that talking show, and I felt like I was just kind of have one of those today because I've got a lot of things circling in my mind that are not fully formed of opinions. It's a weird – covering Ole Miss, today's a weird day. And speaking of, we got a couple different podcasts. We should point those out. Neal talked to Chris Beard yesterday. That is up at MPW Digital. It's linked on the message board at Rebels 24/7. As they had a one-on-one conversation yesterday prior to the Rebels and the Tide here today. Obviously, Neal has been on the road with Beard and the Rebels for the majority of the season. And then go ahead.
I said a lot, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. It was one of those deals where I think people have not noticed how much we've traveled with the team. Most people, some people have, but most people probably have not because maybe this will be something we dive into. This is one of my theories that will be tested tonight a little bit. That in today's college athletics, where you don't know the players nearly as much as you used to, you're far more invested in results, And when the results are positive for your team, you sort of ignore all the other stuff and you get into it big time. But if the results aren't positive for your team, it's much easier to you talk about form stuff in your mind that you're not fully formed. This is one of my theories that's just not fully formed. It's just kind of there. It's much easier to check out and completely ignore one of your teams when it has a streak of bad luck or a bad season or whatever the case may be. This is a theory now. This is a hypothesis. This is not me saying this is how it is. I'm not speaking from on high at all. But it's my theory. Chase, you can feel free in a moment to tell me that, no, you're a complete idiot. And I'll say, okay, I'm cool with that. It's my theory that there's less actual loyalty to maybe that's not the right word. I'll be
discretionary interest.
Maybe that's it. I will be curious to see what the crowd looks like tonight. This is a team that hasn't been home for 3 weeks. They've played really hard. They haven't won. Their path to the postseason is razor
strictly
thin,
through Nashville at this point,
and probably strictly through Nashville at this point. I mean, I guess if they went on a winning streak and won out 8 in a row, okay. Sure. Yeah, but a realistic path to the postseason probably includes a bunch of wins in Nashville, including one on a Sunday. And with that in mind, I think it's easier now for people to check out. But maybe I'll be fooled tonight. I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I like this team. It's no secret. I like Chris Beard. I like him professionally. I like him personally. Not that matters at all. I like this. I like these kids. They're nice kids. They play hard. It just hasn't worked so far. It hasn't quite worked, I think is the better term. But we'll see. I'm curious to see 6 o'clock Wednesday. How many people show up?
I think it's a big game for Ole Miss to win, to give something for the momentum the rest of the season, especially when you look at the schedule. Because you've got Mississippi State on Saturday. Chris Beard's probably going to get a favor with the weather. It's probably not going to be competing against baseball on Saturday. The weather looks terrible. I do not know anything about doubleheaders at this point. That's a 5:30 tip against State. But they play a lot of home games. They've got 4 of their next 5 at home, and this has not happened in the Beard era yet because everybody was really excited about year 1. They were clearly a really good team last year. This is one of those games, though, we've seen a lot at Ole Miss over the years where you need to win it to get the crowd back the next day, and you kind of keep picking them up in that way. You know what I mean? We've had that over the years where it's the momentum home game, if you will. That if you win it, I think it gives you a really good crowd Saturday into next week, and if you lose it, because no, look, at Ole Miss, at some schools, this is one. What you're saying is exactly right about checking out, and part of that comes because of baseball starting. You have the other sport that kicks in, and they shift their attention and they shift their focus, and it just is what it is. Unless basketball is winning to the point of making it where that's not the case. So yeah, that's where that is. So we'll see. That's a big line, 7.5 for the Tide on the road. That's a big number. I was a little shocked by that. Bama's obviously really good.
Yeah, they can.
No Bediako.
Right, no Bediako. I asked Beard about that. Interesting answer. You can go listen to it. Recommend that you listen to it. It's just 18, 19-minute interview. He was very good. He was very honest, as he typically always is. LeBaron Philon's one of the best players in the league. Aiden Holloway, the former Auburn player, is at Bama and is playing incredibly well right now. Bama's a little banged up. They don't have a lot of the size. Bediako's out. They're a little thinner in the front court. It's an interesting game. Chris made from a basketball standpoint, I knew exactly what he's talking about. I always laugh when basketball coaches do the football thing, but in his case, it made sense. This is a first down game. you have to win first down, meaning the first 10 seconds of your defensive possession, you've got to be on point. You've got to get them late into the shot clock. First 10 seconds of your offensive possession, if you're going to take a shot, it has to be a good shot. You can't turn the ball over. You've got to play complementary football, if you will, tonight to beat Bama. But this is a Bama team that's beatable. They've lost games. They're very good, but they're beatable. They're not a juggernaut the way they've been at times the last few years with under Oates, where they've gone to the Final Four and things of that nature. I mean, this team might, but I'd be a little surprised, I think. It's a big game. It's a game where you're right. I mean, if they win, it's going to make it easier for people on Saturday, on Valentine's Day, to, hey, let's go to a basketball game at 5:30. Then if they lose and people go, why am I going to a basketball game on Saturday at 5:30?
Bama has played.
Maybe it shouldn't be that way, but I just kind of think that's how it is.
In the last 4 games for Bama, they've been blown out. They have blown a team out. They beat Missouri 90-64 at home. They lost to Florida in Gainesville 100-77, and they've played 2 track meets and won them both. They beat A&M 100-97, and they beat Auburn 96-92. So that is Alabama coming in here this evening as we press on. But yeah, Beard's up. It is there. A little bit of a different vibe. I talked to Ryan Miller, the CEO of Oxford Lafayette Incorporated, about infrastructure, workforce, stuff like that in Lafayette County. Yesterday afternoon, that is up in MPW Digital as well. Very varied content here on the network.
He didn't happen to say when they're coming to pick up all these trees, did he?
It's not his area. No. He's bringing businesses in. The groundskeeping is not under Mr. Miller's purview, to the best of my knowledge. There's
some rumors about that are not good.
The trucks are hauling it out down 7 pretty much every day. I ran into them over by your neighborhood, headed that direction. But there's a lot of brush, a lot of rubbish, if you will, to gather in that way.
They appear to have like a station. They appear to be based in kind of Abbeville. They're going back and forth. That appears to be. I'm completely.
Are they turning it into usable mulch? What's the plan?
You're
okay.
I mean,
I'm barking up the wrong tree.
I mean, you're just
I'm a poor coon dog right now.
You might as well be talking to a brick wall. I have no clue.
Okay.
I mean, I would assume that's what they're trying to do, but I don't know. And I'm not. Before anyone thinks I'm criticizing them, I'm not. They have a mammoth job in front of them. I don't envy them at all.
No, it's every single street, just everywhere. I mean, we don't really have many trees in our neighborhood at all, and a couple of my neighbors look like they took out their entire backyards. I mean, it's immense. There's no doubt about that. Flipping Reb, forcing my wife to listen while we're in the hospital, waiting on her to push out baby number 3. Feel free to go as long as y'all want today. Congrats to y'all. Hope the day turns successful as you move on. So
yeah, big day.
Big day. Number 3 though. You've been all right. You already been through this.
I have. I remember that day very, very vividly. It's a good day.
So, a couple things here, and we'll get into some other topics. Trinidad's case tomorrow, Pittsburgh in the morning, 9:30. I'm not preaching here, but
you should. Oh, you should.
Well, I'm trying to put it in context, and I guess it felt not far off, but a lot of what we do is day to day, and you just get through the next, and you look at the calendar for the next day, and I wasn't processing tomorrow in my head until yesterday, and I went to Baseball Media Day, which we'll discuss before the show's over today, and some of the things from that. It went exactly like it always goes. My story this morning's, or the story, I put out Media Day quick hits on the board, which was rotation, lineup, all that stuff. Somehow I got 13 of 13 of that. I was really impressed with myself. It was very good. Gold star. That's out there, and then I wrote about 9 different Ole Miss players living in a 2-bedroom apartment for 5 to 7 days of the winter storm, because you sometimes forget that the athletes are part of the community too. They're dealing with the same things, and Hayden Federico and Cade Townsend had power, so 9 Rebels, including Hunter, were in their confines as they all pulled resources and food and things over that period of time. So that story's up at Rebels 24/7 as well. But as we do, we were sort of taking notes about the Chambliss hearing tomorrow, and this is me. I've always been like this. I am very firm and deliberate on reverence and decorum. I just am. Like, I get really, I overdress to things. I am very cognizant of decorum in many situations, maybe to my own detriment at times. But I feel like you can't do it wrong that direction. You can easily do it wrong the other direction, which is my mindset on this. I guess what I'm urging people to do, and I'm really serious when I say this, is don't flood the courthouse. Don't make it a pep rally tomorrow. Judge Whitwell's in a really weird spot for his professionalism tomorrow. I expect Trinidad Chambliss to win the case. I expect Trinidad Chambliss to win the case based off merit. I think based off what little I know about common sense and what even less I know about the law, but I've talked to multiple attorneys. I've talked to people that understand this a lot more than I do. I've really tried hard to understand the particulars of this case. I feel confident in saying I have done that to an effort better than anybody else on this beat, at least in an effort.
No question about it.
I have. I've been obsessed with this in a way. And it's fairly complicated, but I believe he is going to win, and I believe he's going to win based off merit. If he wins tomorrow, it is not because Judge Whitwell did something inappropriate or biased. And again, he's probably not winning tomorrow. Let's make that very clear. I do not anticipate an answer in the courtroom tomorrow. I don't. It could come later in the day. It could come the next day. It could come in 2 weeks. You don't know. He's going to take it under advisement most likely. Frankly, an immediate decision would probably be a negative for Ole Miss. It probably would be a denial. But this is a court hearing. It's a chancery court function on his normal rotation and schedule. So I'm seeing a lot about live shows and seeing all this about people lining up. And I was talking to people from Calhoun County yesterday that were talking about getting in line at 7:30 to get in a courtroom. Just, it's a legal proceeding. Don't do that, please. I think that this is one of those deals where Ole Miss is going to probably come out well, but let it come out well following the process of the law as it plays out. I just think it's a nothing or a negative if this becomes some semblance of a pep rally out of 150 people in a courtroom tomorrow. I think that's what it says. That's what Brad Logan told me yesterday. I'll take his word for it. I've never been in Pittsburgh, Mississippi, but
I'm not sure.
That's where I'm at. It's between Calhoun City and Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two pretty small places as it is.
Yeah, those were the reference points. So that's where we are here. I don't even know what I'm saying. Again, we're just having a conversation today, but I'm just, I guess I woke up and I don't feel sorry for Judge Whitwell or anything, but just thought he's in a really tight spot. It's
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know him.
Nash Vandiver says, I mean, what is it? What is too much fandom? Packing courthouses has to be close. Yeah, I just let's all take it down a notch. There's going to be an answer one way or the other. I just don't think tomorrow for the actual case and the actual hearing, requires some breathlessness that is about to come. There is almost going to be a bit of a Radio Row type element to this tomorrow, and frankly, it's making me incredibly queasy as a decorum first person. I am really struggling with this as we get a day away. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not in the mood for the he said she said. I'm just giving an opinion. And my opinion is that we could all take the temperature down a little bit on what this is tomorrow. I understand the stakes. The stakes are huge for Ole Miss football, but it is a court hearing. So let's remember that. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I have so many thoughts on this, but I don't need to express them. You generally know them, so.
I mean, people are again. Maybe we're all wrong, but people are expecting a line of fans tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I'm planning to be there. We will see what comes.
I just don't. It doesn't need to be. Look, I'm with you completely about courtrooms, and I think it's one of the reasons that you and I are both in the camp that we prefer the traditional church service.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
I'm a fan of decorum. I like it. I don't think this should be a pep rally. I don't like the I don't really like where media is going in the current landscape. All media, not just sports media. Media. I think it's bad. I think it's lacking decorum. I think lines have been blurred badly in our field. And this isn't good versus evil in a courtroom in Pittsburgh. This is process. You know, I mean, I'm not defending the NCAA at all. The NCAA, you know, is it has an opinion that it is expressing. Trinidad's attorneys have an opinion that they're expressing. They'll do it in a legal setting, and a judge will apply law. And I'm not an attorney, and I know you're not either, but you and I both share the same opinion that the facts seem to be mostly on Chambliss' side.
Yes.
But I don't know. I'm really trying not to turn this into something where it's 10 message board threads about me being a jerk. Which is fine. I just, in this case, I think he's going to win. I don't agree with the NCAA's stance, but I understand the sentiment.
They picked the wrong hill to die on is their problem.
I think they've picked the wrong case to apply their very firm opinion that we've got to have some rules, and if we keep granting extra years, it's going to bite us in the ass down the road. And they have begun to say a lot. And look, they're not alone here on this part. Talk to some high school coaches, and they'll tell you this. There is a concern that if you continue to make the sport, college sports, older and older and older, who is going to pay the price? The 17, 18-year-olds. That's who will pay that price. That's where this is going. But the courtroom's not a football game. And I don't know, if I'm the judge, I don't know him. I wouldn't know him if he walked in the door. He doesn't know me. I have a hard time believing that if he walks into that courtroom and sees, I don't know how big the courtroom is, but however many people basically wearing their powder blue and red, I have to think he's going to be like, oh, man, this is not a great look. Because I don't know whether any national media is covering this.
I don't either.
You know, I mean, I just don't know.
There were people live tweeting from the Bediaco thing, but I'm not 100% sure they were in the courtroom. I think they might have been in some hallway as people were coming out, but I'm not 100% sure. But a couple more thoughts on that. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I'm over time on the segment. So we'll continue this in 1 second. First, I'm going to tell you about AnySpark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available. Whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, they offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service in espark.com. AnySpark, get connected, stay local. Also in the stream, tell me if Neal's volume is good. I can turn him up a little bit, but just give me a little heads up there on our volume levels as we're getting into this break. Go ahead, Neal.
Ole Miss had a great portal season. You can too. Do you have an old IRA or 401k with a former employer? Is that money stuck with a bad team and not living up to its full potential? Put that account in the transfer portal. Let a fellow Rebel professionally manage it for you. Andrew Seago. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management will build a playoff caliber portfolio just for you. Book a quick discovery call today at rebelsretire.com or 901-482-2676. Maybe you need tax savings strategies or retirement income planning. That's what they do every day. Give them a call, 901-482-2676, or book a discovery call online at rebelsretire.com. Have a mailbag up this morning at Rebels 24/7. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously, call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great people, products, and services, though. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Memphis, Hernando, South Haven, those areas, call Southern, 662-429-4429. And we're brought to you by ENT Physicians of North Mississippi. As the largest private ENT practice in the state, their goal is simple: delivering fast, expert, comprehensive care for patients of all ages with ENT, allergy, sinus, dizziness, balance, and voice-related needs. With same-day or next-day appointments with ENT urgent care for that annoying cough or sore throat, in-office CT scans, and same-day allergy testing, and access to their comprehensive audiology team offering a full range of services from hearing aids and custom hearing protection to potential surgical options. ENT Physicians of North Mississippi are committed to removing barriers to care. They now have new locations in New Albany and Starkville, in addition to Tupelo, Corinth, and more. Get more details at entnorthmississippi.com or call 662-844-6513.
Podcast is brought to you by Horn Legend, hornlegend.com. My Around the Horn weekly segment will be out tomorrow on the site of Rebels 24/7, brought to you by Horn Legend. Make sure you pick up your vest, your jacket, your quarter zips. Look, it's looking to get cold again. We're not quite done yet. So a lot of options there at Horn Legend. They got their Diamond Elite collection too, baseball-specific gear around Ole Miss and many other teams that are available there through that. Please pick MPW Digital in the drop-down when you order. And remember, use Rebel Relief as your code word. They are giving 20% of all Ole Miss-related sales, jacket, vest sales, to the Ole Miss Disaster Fund from Winter Storm Fern, plus free shipping. So, again, that is Rebel Relief at checkout with hornlegend.com. And podcast brought to you by New Albany Pharmacy and Solutions, newalbanypharmacy.com, 140 Fairfield Drive in New Albany, 662-539-7777. Tell them you heard about them. MPW Digital, get 15% off any non-medical purchase. They got plenty of gifts and many other items there available for you in Union County, newalbanypharmacy.com. Yes, NCAA Emily was who we used to make fun of there at the NCAA, the PR director. We looked her up the other day. She's working somewhere else now. She's in D.C. or New York or somewhere.
She's not there anymore.
Yeah, I get it, and you're not wrong. I mean, it's pointed out. Kevin puts it out in the stream. As a player granted a 9th year yesterday from the linebacker from Montana. There are multiple issues. Number one, it's not consistent case to case at all. They do not follow their own rules, which is the biggest problem. It's where the schools are actually pissed, and the NCAA can't just simply get by every time with, well, you guys are the members and you made the rules. Well, they can't make you implement the rules, however, the entire time. Yeah, Solomon Tuilapapupu is his name. 9th year at Montana. He was in Micah Parsons' recruiting class. Wicked Bruce says. Micah Parsons has been in the NFL for a while now. But every situation is not the same either. Like I said, the Joey Aguilar thing is very cut and dry. played 3 or 4 years of JUCO, and now he gets 4 years of Division I because of the Pavia rule. It is what it is. What's ridiculous about the Chambliss case is that if he were just simply a Division I athlete the entire time, this would be an approval like the Montana kid, or way easier than the Montana kid immediately. It's the Division II to Division I record keeping that is preventing this situation. It's my opinion, but I'm as well educated as I possibly can be at my intelligence level at this point. And that's where the NCAA has drawn a line incorrectly. It's where they've created their own issues. And it's why I think tomorrow, again, based off merit, he's going to win. That's what I think. So we'll see. I mean, Ginger says in the stream, nobody's going to listen, and it's going to be a zoo, probably. But I'm making myself feel better, if nothing else. So that's worth something. I don't know.
So what's the plan for you tomorrow? Are you going to get there early and live stream all day? You going to interview?
I mean, look, we're just talking to our thousands of friends here. I do have that. I mean, I do believe my job at the end of the day is to our people following us. I do think I have to pack my equipment in case there is some world where that is allowed tomorrow. I hope it's not allowed. I do not want it to be allowed to be able to live stream the hearing or to have any type of video from the hearing. I don't think it's positive in a number of reasons. But, yeah, I expect to at least pack things for whatever the situation entails. I do anticipate trying to get some clarity on that today. So we'll see where that goes. But I don't know. I think the biggest thing to get across to everybody is just simply that your answer is probably not coming immediately, and do not freak out when that's the case. These are never coming in the courtroom. That's the biggest thing. Is at 11:30 tomorrow, we're just spinning our wheels if there's some message board questions about what happened and did something come out of it. Tom Mars, I expect to be there. He's been given the same courtesy as far as an exemption without a Mississippi law license as the one of the other attorneys outside of Doug Minor for the NCAA. I forget the guy's name. Former athlete from Chattanooga. So you'll have Liston, you'll have Mars. Again, Doug Minor representing the NCAA. He is a partner at a law firm. Holland Knight, I think, is right, in Atlanta. He has represented the NCAA a number of times, including cases centering around Mississippi people to different extents. He's a former partner of a law firm in Jackson. I think he's from Oxford, actually. So he is going to be completely aware and familiar with Chancery Court situations in Mississippi. Like it's one of the things that I do think is worth the clarification. I've seen, not seeking them out, but I've seen some other media reports about, they brought in this guy from Atlanta who went to Georgetown and Harvard. He's been in Mississippi. He's very, 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 very familiar with Mississippi. This is not somebody that's not going to be understanding of the way that this works. It is very much a person familiar with where we are. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. I mean, I will say that I don't know what to make of it, but the NCAA is not throwing this thing away. I mean, they're bringing in very, very, very relevant people, and I'm sure paying them very well to handle this case, which they kind of have to. You have no choice, but it's not a throwaway.
I mean, I have a thought on that. It's probably not one I need to express because it's going to come across like I'm defending them, and I'm not at all. I think the NCAA believes that some of the documentation is disingenuous. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying I think that's one of their stances.
And I think they thought that early on, and now they are digging in to where they're not listening to anything that is relevant and real. For sure. that feels to be where the line of demarcation has sort of happened at this point.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
And now, no matter what evidence there is, it's just nope. We're digging our heels in and closing our eyes and putting our fingers in our ears and doing the scene from Dumb and Dumber where he just starts yelling so he doesn't hear anything in the truck. So that's what I think. But again, I think he's going to win. We'll see. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, Pittsburgh, Mississippi.
I've consistently said that. I'll be stunned if he doesn't win. Yeah, I've said that all along. It's one of the reasons I think I've
tuned it out to some extent.
Not tuned it out, but I haven't been breathless on it because I sort of feel like I know where this is going. I've kind of thought that all along, and so when it happens, it's not going to be, breaking news, if you will. I mean, I know it will be, but you understand my point. It's not going to be, oh hell, what a shock, right? It's going to be, okay, well, we thought he would get an injunction, and he got an injunction. Thought he would be the quarterback, and he's going to be the quarterback. That's probably it.
I mean, I'm seeing this from the message board here. I mean, and again, I guess this is a good point. It's more of actions and whatnot than even attendance necessarily. I mean, I saw a message board post who clearly somebody listened to our show as we're going live. Guys, it's a public hearing. If you want to go. Your taxpayer dollars pay for the courthouse and staff. Just don't make an idiot of yourself. Well, that's probably a summary. It's fair.
Yeah, and I think it's where there's to your point, initially, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that in today's society there is as much decorum as people like you and me like. I can remember like you not dressed up, but you dressed nicely for like an airplane flight. And now, man, you get
suits and ties and stuff.
You get on and when my first flight, I was in the third grade. So it was probably 1978 or something. And I don't remember what everybody wore, but I do remember dressing fairly nicely for an 8-year-old or whatever.
Oh, really?
I mean, now, yeah. I mean, not like
now. I don't follow you there at any point. I mean, I'm pretty dressed down now for a flight. I am almost exclusively in like hoodie and sweats and really easy shoes to take off if I think I'm going to have to take them off.
There are people that get on planes now in their pajamas.
My one, pajamas are a bridge too far, which I don't even really wear pajamas at home. And two, my one biggest pet peeve on a flight, and it's not even close, is somebody who takes their shoes off on the plane.
Yeah,
it drives me bat. Like it's bad. Because sometimes they'll even like put them up on the seat in front of them, and it's like, what in the HE hockey sticks are we doing right now?
Yeah, I've got a lot of airplane related etiquette.
As Siski will say,
a lot. Now, my last few flights, I have no complaints, but I've had flights where it's like, man, what are we doing? Like, I mean, I have a very firm. I probably feel more strongly about the lean back in an airplane seat.
See, I'm so short, it doesn't really bother me if somebody leans back, so I don't care about that one.
Yeah, I feel more strongly about that than I do probably any sports-related topic on the entire universe.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. But yeah, it's hoodies and sweats and joggers almost exclusively now. Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you're doing when you land. Like, are you going straight to the hotel where you can change, or are you having to go to work?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's true. But I very rarely travel where I don't have time to go to the hotel and change clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But
not.
I mean, we cover games now, and I mean, people that I can tell you what I mean, sports writers have never won. They've never been the most dressed people on the face of the planet. And that's putting it nicely.
The Fashion Olympics. That's not your podium.
Yeah, but it's sloppier now than it even used to be, which is saying something.
I mean, we used to wear ties, and we don't anymore. We're part of the problem. Neil.
Yeah, true.
We are. I mean, we used to
get dressed, and we don't really get dressed anymore. Now you look like a complete moron.
I mean, I might wear jeans now. What's the end of the world? I mean, don't even wear slacks every time. Do most of the time, not always.
No.
I wore a hoodie to a game this year. I mean, it was a Horn Legend hoodie, so that elevates it.
Yeah, it's true.
I did wear a hoodie. I don't have a preferred airline. Frankly, they all seem basically the same to me these days. If I don't travel enough, but yeah.
I'm more focused on the colors I wear covering games than I am really the.
You worry about that more than I do because I feel like as long as you don't have a logo on, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah. I try to wear greens, blacks, browns. I'm big on. I collect a lot of green. No green team in the SEC.
It's the worst trait off a plane is when everybody immediately jumps out of their seat when the plane lands. But everybody does it so much to where I just expect it now. So that's different than the shoe and the feet thing because they're just going to. For some reason, they think that is getting them off of the plane faster. Also, as we've talked about, I greatly prefer the window seat. So I'm not going anywhere anyway.
Oh, yeah. I much prefer the aisle just in case we get stuck on the tarmac for an hour. That way I can stand up a couple of times and just stretch my knee.
Yeah, I just feel like my for the most part, despite my advancing age, my bladder operates pretty well. So I rarely have to get up and go to the bathroom or anything. So I'm good. Just let me put my head up against the window and I'll rest and I won't sleep, but I can. I'm not on planes very often where people clap when it lands. I think most of my fellow passengers have expected it to land over the years when it lands.
Something you probably take for granted. But yes, I get on the plane expecting it to land.
Are you on planes often where people clap when it lands?
I don't recall the last time I was on a plane where people clapped.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't. I don't know that I don't even know. I can only think of one time when people clapped on a plane. I can only think of one time. So I can't. I like to make fun of people in general because people are really weird. But I've only had that happen one time, and it was in that time it was fitting.
Okay. I mean, I've heard people clap. No, I mean, Turkey says he's never heard it. Yeah, I've heard it. And I think it's funny when kids do it. It's cute. I got no issues.
Sure. Oh, yeah. You got to cut kids some slack.
Hayden says we don't clap when we arrive somewhere in the car, and it's far more dangerous.
It's true.
It's true.
Hey, man, just going for walks in my neighborhood right now is dangerous. I mean, I should get home and clap for myself.
People who are scared of flying hate when I tell them it's much safer than cars. They do not want to hear that. They hate that.
It is, though.
It is.
I mean, not even close. The interstate's crazy.
Did you see yesterday? It's worth mentioning before we go to the next break. Did you see Nate Oates pointing out Cameron's past yesterday during his press conference?
I did.
Said he's been playing in France at the highest level of professional ball, and look, he's a rebel now. He was look. You're not getting singled out, guys. You're Ole Miss. You're Bama's next opponent, and it was a very easy chum for him after what happened with the Bediako situation. Yeah. In the last couple of days, he's defending his program after potentially torpedoing Bediako's case last week. I mean, it's kind of an idiot.
I mean, I guess the one I actually had this conversation with someone. It was like, hey, I'm under oath. I'm going to answer honestly. I have no problem with Nate Oates fighting for his player and his team. None at all. I mean, he likes the kid, cares for him, wishes he could play, is concerned for his future, and knows that he just lost a lot of money. And Chris addressed this in the interview he did with me where he says it's completely different with Europeans. And it is. But, there are people out there, and I'm increasingly becoming one of those people, that if we're going to call it pro sports, well, pro sports are pro sports, man. Just levels of pro sports. It's an issue that the NCAA is fighting. I get it. But it's interesting to me when I hear a college coach say, hey, man, these are pro sports now. Okay, well, then what's the difference between this pro sport and that pro sport? And I know a lot of people get really defensive because, and I don't really think like this. And so when you said this, it makes me think, I wonder if he's speaking for a lot of people when he says this, when people go, well, yeah, but that is the bridge too far. We've all been wondering, what's the bridge too far? And people go, that's the bridge too far.
Oh, I believe it full force.
Yeah, and so maybe you're right? And maybe the NCAA thinks that too.
Sankey thinks that.
He does, clearly. I just look at it and go, and I know this is not popular at all, but it's genuinely how I feel. If I'm being honest, I don't see what the difference is between college basketball and the G League. I don't really see what the difference is between college baseball and the minor leagues. I mean, you're getting paid to play a sport, and you're absolutely getting paid to play a sport. The whole student athlete thing it's borderline laughable at this point. It's always been sort of funny, but now it's truly kind of a joke. So I think that's where I don't think Oates was picking on Elias Camerdine specifically. I think he was, hey, this is an opportunity to make my point. We're about to play a team that has a player that played at the highest level of France. So I'm going to make this point, and I think that's all it was. I listened to it. I didn't come away from that going, oh, man, that was personal.
No, I mean, yeah, like I said, it was just easy fodder at the moment for him. That's what it was. Wow, Chauncey says, my dad was on a plane out of Jackson that hit a deer on the runway.
Ooh.
Well, that's different.
My money's on the plane.
Yeah, I prefer flying on anything over 6 hours. That's where I'm at. I'll do car for about 6. Anything over that, and I have no interest. Personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I did a good bit of driving last month.
You did.
New Orleans to Norman I was in the car 10 hours. It was probably a 9.5 hour drive. I probably didn't stop enough. But I was trying to beat the sun.
We drive to the beach on fall break, and that's as far as I'll drive. And that's just almost because it's easier in some ways because of where you're going and how you get there and whatnot. But
yeah, I've got a couple of long drives coming up that I'll probably have a different sentiment by the end of those drives.
Yeah.
But in general, I don't mind driving. Now, here's where I'm different. If I'm traveling a long distance, I'd rather go by myself.
Well, you're on your terms.
Anyone else. Well, and I don't have to talk. I don't have to listen to anything.
All the way around, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just drive. I'll just drive in silence. Literally, I don't think I turned the radio on more than 30 minutes that day from New Orleans to Norman. I got phone calls, and tried to do a podcast and whatnot, but
middle of nowhere, Texas.
But I didn't turn on the radio and listen to music, or I guess I listened a little bit that morning to some college sports stuff because I was curious to see what they were saying about whatever. I don't know. Usually I don't.
Insane. You seen this? In our stream, Soda Spin says, my Jackson dentist has been in 3 plane crashes, including the big one in Dallas in the 80s. Yes, he doesn't fly anymore.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's tough. That's tough.
3 plane crashes.
Yeah, 3 plane crashes. All right, back in a minute. We'll come back and continue some actual sports conversation. Before we do that, we'll tell you about the firm, a proud Liberty Mutual and Safeco Insurance agency partner. Take a look at them. They're founded by Ole Miss alum Brian Hayden. So if your home and auto insurances keep going up, they service the entire Southeastern Conference with their team of licensed professionals, review your insurance needs, and put together coverages that protect you and your family without breaking the bank. That's 662-236-1101 or email staff@thefirmsouth.com.
Let's see. We are also brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. You still have time to do your Valentine's Day shopping. You've got jewelry on. You need to make jewelry purchases for Valentine's Day to get through the big holiday. It's a big holiday. Give Hallmark credit. They've made it happen. Arnett's can take care of you. They also have great gifts for birthdays, graduations, anniversaries. They've got everything you're looking for in jewelry, all the way from wedding stuff to flexible diamonds, diamond pendants, earrings, and more. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler. We're also brought to you by the College Corner. They've got all the gear you need for baseball season, from the cold weather to the hot weather that'll come in a few months, and everything in between, all the colors that you need, all the brands you know and love, Nike, Horn Legend, Champion, Antigua, just to name a few. Got locations in Oxford and Jackson, and you can always go to collegecornerstore.com. And if you're sitting out at the ballpark this weekend or any other weekend, take some Coors with you if you're sitting out in left field, right field. I think they have the beer shower. You know what? The only thing better than a beer shower is a Coors shower. Because
that's wasting a lot of Coors.
It is, but it's spraying goodness into the air. You're spraying karma, good karma into the air. Because Coors, like when you spray a Milwaukee Beast or something, you just don't know what's in there. I mean, like, yeah, who knows, right? That's going to be all over you. When you get a Coors, man, you know, someone says, what's on you? You say history. History's what's on me. 150-year-old recipe, same tradition. 100% Rocky Mountain water. So someone hits a home run, do a Coors shower. You're spraying history. Just worth noting. We're also brought to you by Argent Wealth, Argent's 401k advisory services team. They conduct a complimentary, no-obligation benchmarking and analysis of your current 401k plan. Mention that you heard about Argent on Blue Sky Live. You get 10% off your first year's fees. It's myargentwealth.com.
Oh, sorry, I was muted there for a second. Podcast also brought to you by the Jackson Graber Group, GMFS Mortgage, John Graber in Oxford. Help all home buyers with first home, new construction, or refinances. Also great in the condo financing market. He's an expert there, so give him a call. Oxford High alum, Ole Miss alum, local in-house processing, underwriting, and servicing. You know, the people taking care of you. So if you're buying a home, refinancing, or just have questions, gmfsmortgage.com/JGG or 662-762-4502. Some people asking on the board and in the stream, I think, earlier as well. I think I saw it. The 4111 Club, the premium seating area in right field at Swayze, will not be up this season. So, no, that is correct. That is a change from a premium seating standpoint that will not return for 2026. That is.
I saw over yesterday someone on the board had a very strong opinion about that. Immensely strong.
About the 4111 Club?
Yes.
Pro or against?
He was very against it. He's someone who typically has very strong opinions about most everything.
Okay. And it was not a positive opinion?
No, most of his opinions are not positive.
Okay. So, yes, it's true. It's gone. I do not know the reasoning. I don't know. I got nothing. I know a lot of people were buying it strictly for the parking spot because you got a parking spot right behind the venue with that. So yeah. There's that. Okay. I guess as good as anything. We'll use that as the transition baseball media day yesterday. Appreciate all the help. I mean, no, we got a lot of players. We talked to Mike, and then did breakouts with Will Furness, Judd Utermark, Cade Townsend, Hunter Elliott, and Hayden Federico. That was the.
So take me inside the machinations of this. Were you able to ever get like anything resembling a one-on-one, or were people scrambling around when they saw you talking to someone trying to stick a recorder in there?
There was no one-on-one opportunity unless you went to someone while everybody else was talking to someone else. But it was not. I guess breakout was the wrong word. I apologize. It was. They took the lectern away after Mike, and players went to the front, and we crowded around said player one at a time. So you could walk over and ask questions, and I had some conversations with some stuff on background with different people that I will use in different capacities. But no, it was not one-on-one opportunities in that way. Mike was a little shorter than usual. His opening statement is not a filibuster because he's not trying to filibuster or avoid, but he usually goes on and on and on, and it was over pretty quickly. He immediately got to the rotation and the Friday night lineup or Friday afternoon lineup for the Rebels for opening day. Talked about some other guys that will play. He complimented everybody that was helping with ice storm recovery. He's the one that sort of started the conversation about players taking in other players, and then we followed up with different players regarding how that played out. Again, they went to Trustmark for a few days to get away from it. We're able to inter-squad down there before they could return home. From a damage standpoint, a backstop pole with the netting was pulled, or was, I guess not pulled, was taken from its concrete foundation because of the ice and the heaviness of the ice. The pole has been replaced. They're replacing the net today, and then the dugout club was flooded because of pipe damage. That also has been remedied at this point. We were in the dugout club. Sorry, Diamond Club, not dugout club. And we were in that building yesterday, and it was fine. So recovery from a facility standpoint is complete. I went into it yesterday saying I didn't know that I had a lot of questions. I ended up asking a lot of questions because he was standing there, and why not? Nobody else was really talking, so I was like, we'll just have a conversation. But it was it was exactly as I expected on a lineup standpoint. It's going to start Hunter Elliott on Friday. It's going to play Cade Townsend. Mike really likes the returners on opening weekend when he can do it. Sure. Cade has a ton of ability. He was a freshman. He was a top 100 prospect out of high school a year ago when he was a freshman. He's the one that really handcuffed LSU in the SEC tournament, really made them look worse than anybody else did in the postseason all the way through. Immense talent. He, even in cold weather was up in the mid-90s. He has developed a sweeper to his arsenal this year. A lot of the rotation and a lot of the staff has added cutters and sweepers and things this year. It's been a big movement. You're really starting to see that sweeper across Major League Baseball, and it's trickling down over the last few years. And then Will Libbert, who, look, I think if you want the guy who's going to really blow up on the stock, if you will, he's second year out of Tommy John. He transferred from Missouri, played with a really bad team last year. But you're talking about 95 to 98 from the left side. That typically will play if you throw it in the strike zone. And that gives Ole Miss a really dominant potential arm there on Sunday. And then the defensive lineup is, again, what you would expect. It was not hard to get that one right. It's Foley behind the plate. It's Utermark at third. It's Braden Randall at short. He's just been more consistent than Owen Payno. They're going to give Payno opportunities. They're going to give him some at second, some at short, some at third. But Braden Randall is your starter there at shortstop. Dom Decker, the Murray State transfer at second base. They kept pointing out that through all of the intra-squads, through the fall and the spring, Dom Decker has a 4% chase rate against Ole Miss arms. He just does not swing at anything outside the strike zone. As I said, I'm a little concerned about his BABIP being up in the 420, 430 range, but not chasing is one of the reasons why he's going to have a little bit of a higher yes.
Batting average on balls in play. There's a lot of people. So there you go. Just trying to help the audience.
Okay, it's in theory a luck statistic. At the major league level, your BABIP, if you will, if it's around 300, it means your luck is equal. If it's a lot higher than that, you probably got lucky. If it's lower than that, you're going to break out. So Decker's being up in the low 400s means, in theory, that he was very lucky last year.
Right.
But there are other things that play into it as well. So we'll see where it goes as there
are exceptions to every statistical rule. But as a rule, like in Major League Baseball, if you play 162 games, if your BABIP is 400, you're just remarkably lucky.
Yeah.
And if it's 200, you're remarkably unlucky.
Yes. Will Furnace at first.
But there are exceptions to that. Very few, but there are.
And all Italian outfield is I had not thought about, but Twitter really focused on when I posted that yesterday. It is Pacella in left, Bacetta in right, and Federico in center for the Ole Miss outfield. Pacella has 48 career home runs through his career at Illinois State. Hunter Elliott told me that against him in the inter-squad last week, Pacella hit 430. So Ole Miss has high hopes for him in the middle of the lineup. Bacetta, a lot of swing and miss, a lot of power. I think he is the most vulnerable from a spot in the lineup as far as how quickly somebody else could get in. I think he needs to hit quickly or his spot could be taken. And then Federico in center, which we talked to him a pretty good bit yesterday about. He said that center is which is people who don't know a lot of baseball, this is not going to be a surprise, but I think it's worth mentioning on the podcast. Center field, if you have pretty good read off the bat, is way easier to learn than the corners because the slice is less pronounced. When you haven't played outfield before and you're playing left and right, that slice off the bat can really get you to left from a left-hander and to right from a right-hander because it just tails and tails and tails and tails and tails. So in center, he kind of gets to play free safety. He mentioned he was a defensive back in football in high school, and it almost kind of is the same thing. You just kind of go get the ball in a way, and it's helped him with some of his transition and progression there. He played it all during the Cape last summer, then in the fall and the spring, so he'll be Ole Miss's starting center fielder to begin the year against Nevada there on Friday. Cannon Golden, the freshman, is pushing harder than anybody else. There's no doubt about that. Sorry, I apologize. Somebody said in the stream a second ago he's been a walking barrel. He's been excellent. If he were a returner, he would play immediately. He's going to get a lot of reps. I think he'll start a game this weekend. It's been very difficult to keep him off the field, so he's the first freshman to look at. Topher Jones has been really good the last couple weeks. The Pearl River transfer that sort of – I don't want to say he was a replacement for Ethan Sarowik because I think it puts too much pressure on Topher Jones because Sarowik was going to be a big-time bat in this lineup. He's going to play at Florida. He's going to play third base for the Gators. It's a loss for Ole Miss. There's no way around that. So I don't want to say he's a replacement, but I do think that spot opened up a spot for Jones, and they played similar positions and whatnot. So we'll see where that sort of plays out as it goes on. I asked Mike if he wanted to have a dedicated bridge like he did with Mason Morris last year after Elliott. Hudson Calhoun was the first guy that missed a starting rotation spot for this team, so I think he will be some element of long relief, however they do that. Mike said that really, though, with Morris, it started off because Hunter was just coming back off these 2 years of injuries. They didn't know how long he could go, and because of that, they wanted to try to stabilize that Friday night, not understanding pitch count off Elliott as much. But then after that, the bigger problem was that Morris couldn't necessarily extend it 3 or 4 innings, and you ran into a problem where he was losing his stuff 2 or 3 innings in, and then trying to figure out how to adapt to that as time goes on. Mike was very complimentary of the changes at the structure level with preseason practice. They have 5 weeks to ramp up instead of 3. And he said, especially because of Winter Storm Fern, that was a huge boost to their rotation as far as getting pitch counts up prior to the season, that Elliott should be at 80, 85 pitches probably this weekend when he only would have been at 60 to 70. Had that not been the case, so we thought that was a really good move that the NCAA put in to give them more time to ramp up as time has gone on there with that. And then everybody likes the closer, even though there really is no dedicated closer. But he mentioned Landon Koenig, the transfer from North Dakota State that just throws the absolute piss out of it, and Landon Waters, the returner who they said has made by far the biggest jump of anybody on the staff so far this season. So that's kind of the rundown. Colin Reuter, your DH, and your backup catcher, the BYU transfer who had a little bit of an arm injury last year, so it limited his time behind the plate. But he did play catcher at BYU, and they trust him to be able to give Foley some breather, some midweek rest, or whatever is needed there as the season goes on. Because I know college baseball is a relatively short season, but you still don't necessarily want your catcher catching 70 games in a year. You need to spell him where you can there. So I think Foley gives them Reuter gives them a good chance to do that. So quick rundown from media day yesterday. That was kind of it. Again, no surprises. They just need to play. Weather still looks terrible on Saturday. I think it's pretty good on Friday. Low 60s, something like that at first pitch. Is that where we're at now?
I will look it up now. I'm not sure. I have not looked at the weather in the last day or two. Let's see what the Weather Channel is projecting.
Okay.
It's showers in the vicinity right now. 49 degrees. A low tonight of 34. Friday, high of 68, low of 46, 15% chance of rain. Saturday, showers early, becoming a steady rain later in the day, high around 65, chance of rain 80%. In case you're thinking about that night, cloudy with periods of rain, potential for heavy rainfall, low near 50, chance of rain 100%. And then on Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high around 40. No, I'm sorry, low around 40. Way back, I had the day-night thing. Sunday, rain showers early with some sunshine later in the day. High of 62, chance of rain 60% that night. The rain's supposed to get out.
Okay.
It's February in the South. It rains.
So what's your guess? They're going to get 3 in?
I mean, they usually do.
Almost always.
So I don't know how the two different coaches feel about doing a doubleheader and all of that stuff. How eager they are to get these games in as opposed to whatnot down the road. I mean, if you're Nevada and you're making the trip all the way here, you probably want to play more than one game. But early in the season, some coaches will probably have different thoughts on playing a doubleheader, playing 18 innings in one day, depending on, where their pitching staffs are and things of that nature. I don't know. You would know that much better than I would.
Mike does not typically like Friday doubleheaders. He is very anti those when he can at all help it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't name the Nevada coach if you gave me 10 million guesses. I would just start with like John Smith, John Brown.
I know they are favored to win the Mountain West, but I do not know their coach's name.
So I don't know how he feels about his team early.
He is in his first season as the head coach. His name is Jordan Getzelman.
Yeah, see, it would have 10 million guesses wouldn't have gotten it.
He was the hitting coach last year with the Wolfpack.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they typically get the games in. I mean, it just kind of depends on. I think the one thing that both coaches would probably agree on is they don't want to start games and stop them. Start and stop. That's typically nightmarish for your pitching staff. You'd rather just miss a game.
You would. So, all right, take a final break. We'll be back in a second. First, Chicory Market. ChicoryMarket.com is the place to go and sign up. Again, just a couple days left. I don't think they're full. There might be, though. You might want to check it today if you're interested in their supper club. That's Valentine's night. 6 o'clock, by the way. I said 7. I was wrong. It's at 6 o'clock. 4-course meal there from Heath Johnson and his crew available to you. You can find the menu right there at chickroommarket.com. Again, go to the events page and then just pick up tons of fruits and vegetables and meat options, dry goods. Got specialty items not available anywhere else in town. Their prices have gotten better. No reason not to give it a try. Again, that's Chickroom Market right there on North Lamar in Oxford.
We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Using John, you're using someone who's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners, allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. If you're trying to make a special trip, one that creates a lifetime of unique memories, get in touch with John, give him some parameters, give him a budget, let him give you some options. And know this, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com.
Podcast also is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes it can feel like everyone has it all together in their love lives, whether married, dating, or single. The truth is most of us are still figuring it out and finding our way. And no matter where you are in your romantic journey, therapy can help you find your way, help you determine what you want, what feels heavy, and how you can take some pressure off yourself. BetterHelp therapists work along a strict code of conduct, are fully licensed in the U.S. with over 30,000 therapists, the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 6 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based off of 1.7 million client reviews. So sign up, get 10% off at betterhelp.com/MPW. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MPW. Also, podcast brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area and offer meds sent for your prescriptions the same time each month and take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. You have everything you need when you need it from G&M. So again, that's 662-236-2222. Saw the women's hockey team beat Canada 5-0 yesterday in the group stage. So big win for them. I think they have like 3 5-0 wins so far. Oh, he's gone. Didn't see he was gone. Did not have the camera up, so no big deal there. Let's see. Looking through the rest of I don't see a medal count. I went to pull that up, but I watched some of the, I guess whatever the skiing was, where the guy was sprinting so damn fast, yesterday, where the guy from Norway won going away. He's like the Michael Jordan or whatever the sport, but the American finished second, was the highest medal we'd ever gotten in that event. I did catch a little bit of that, and I don't know. Since I saw it was U.S. Canada and women's hockey, I was interested as that went on. Let's see, what do we got here? Scrolling down a little bit. Charlie Woods committed to play golf at Florida State yesterday. You can see that as well. So Tiger's kid's gonna be a Seminole. I didn't have my camera up. I didn't see you were gone. Did you catch any of the women's hockey match against Canada when they won 5-0? So I became interested just because of that.
No, I've not. We've gotten really bad, Chase, about basically not turning the TV on. And I don't really know what's going on in the world. I know that the Nancy Guthrie thing was about the extent of my worldly knowledge. It's bad. Can
you give me a 30-second update on where that stands of this morning?
They scrambled like bomb squads and stuff yesterday, and they detained a person of interest, but supposedly that person has been subsequently released, and that's about the extent of it. I've not turned it on this morning to update it. They were able to recover Nest Cam footage that showed the suspect at the door that night, and that person appeared to be sloppy. I don't. They according to reports, did not have that video until they were able to partner with, I presume, Google to recover it, and that led to a lead and I guess a lot of activity on the case. But I don't know where things stand with like ransom payments and whatnot, or if there's been any proof of life or any of those things. It's kind of it's really a sad story to me. It's become this salacious story that everyone's following and speculating, and at the end of the day, this is an 84-year-old woman who's missing. And
yeah, no, I agree with you. It I didn't know. I saw they arrested at least somebody off one of the ransoms being a hoax.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, at least one. But I think there've been 3 different iterations. So I'm not confident enough to even say where that stands. But I did see there was at least one arrest regarding a hoax situation.
Yeah, there's always going to be people that try to take advantage of these things, and like I said, I just the whole thing's sort of sad to me.
When does the European soccer calendar stop? Like, when is it? When is the regular season over?
Like April, May, I think.
Okay. Well, the U.S. has kind of lost interest in this story for the most part until the documentary comes back out with new seasons. But I just noticed in an athletic newsletter that came out a minute ago that, Wrexham, the Ryan Reynolds team, that now is worth, by the way, $450 million as they have advanced through multiple phases of the league structure, the pyramid. They're sitting 6th right now in the Championship League, which is the number 2 level beyond English Premier. And even at that spot, they would make the playoff to potentially get a spot elevated into the EPL. I mean, the level of promotion that has been at play here is just, I mean, it's not surprising at the lower levels as they had more money than everybody else and were able to fund it the way they were. But at this point, it's a hell of a story, just hell of a job. So
I've always wondered how the elevation of that system would work in American sports.
We're just so not there.
Yeah.
Mentally, my God.
It prevents tanking. But yeah, we're not there. I don't know what Jeffrey and I are going to talk about in the morning. I've started to think about it, and I'm almost getting like a panic over it because we're not. You're going to be in Pittsburgh, so you'll be tied up. There's nothing that's going to happen we'll presumably tape between 8 and 9:30, and there's nothing that I can at least predict would happen.
You're going to need a barn burner of a basketball game tonight.
So we're going to have a basketball game to talk about. And after that, I don't know what the hell we'll talk about. I'm literally at a loss. It's you've previewed the baseball season. There's nothing I can add to that from a preview perspective. I doubt if Jeffrey can either. I'm not going to talk about the NBA. Football season's over. I don't know what we're going to do.
Always figure it out.
I mean, you say that, but this is the first time in a long time that I go into one going, I don't really know how to get through an hour.
Yeah.
I literally can't think of a topic. I haven't watched the Olympics. I probably should, but I haven't. It's too early for NFL draft. It's too early for spring football. Tough.
See where the day brings.
Major League Baseball spring training just getting started, but it's too early for that, and there's no interest.
Speaking of baseball, I just saw that Corbin Carroll has undergone surgery for a hamate bone injury. Will miss the World Baseball Classic and likely out for opening day. Long season, but
Oh yeah,
little dude.
he's a hell of.
He is. So, all right.
Yeah,
We'll, go ahead.
Me makes a joke, but I'm in the very few that's kept. I have not kept up with the Epstein stuff at all. Really, I haven't. I know it's out there. I know there's one of Trump's cabinet people got linked to a visit to the island and stuff, but I just haven't kept up with it. I genuinely, and I couldn't name a figure skater.
It's probably been the most talked about Olympic thing so far as the men's figure skating stuff to date as we get into this. So, all right, we will have more tomorrow with you again, as we're mentioning, and then however the format works. I don't know if I will go live at some point if there's actual news. I don't know if we're writing in Rebels 24/7, but I will be in Pittsburgh for Trinidad Chambliss tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. court hearing.
Oh, you could just go live at 8 a.m. and
I could.
Jeffrey and I could just take the day off, and that would be there. You could just do an hour and a half of
interviewing people there in the courthouse.
Yeah. Out in the lawn.
That will be being done, so there will be places to find that if it's the content you're looking for. All right. Appreciate everybody. Enjoyed it. As always, stay safe. Rebels 24/7 in the meantime, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.